Good morning, Colt Nation. I'm Miss Waddell. I am the behavior specialist for Olmsted Academy North. I want to say good morning and congratulations on a great start to a first day of school yesterday. I heard amazing things from your all's teachers. They were so excited to get to see you guys in the classrooms and meet everybody, and they said that participation was great. So that just makes all of us so excited. I do want to take a minute to just kind of introduce myself. So like I said, my name is Miss Waddell. My role at Olmsted Academy as a behavior specialist is just to kind of be an advocate for you guys, to help you guys make good choices, teach you guys, social skills, ways to deal with some anxiety that you guys might be having, and just kind of be there for you guys. So, with that being said, on Wednesdays, we are going to be meeting, and today's going to be a little different. Today's a recorded lesson, but starting next week, it's going to be live on YouTube, on our Olmsted YouTube channel. And so that way I can see you guys and we can interact and have some group discussions about anything that might be going on with you guys. Any concerns that you guys might have, problems you might be having with NTI or some of your schoolwork, organization, maybe some anxiety. I know that it's tough during this pandemic, being at home and not being able to do things that we're used to doing. So just kind of, using that time as an opportunity for us to just have some good conversations. In the meanwhile, you guys are going to see, I'm not going to do the assignment yet. I'm going to go over here to my Bitmoji classroom that I've created. So this is going to be a tool for us throughout NTI and when we get back in school in person. When you come to this Bitmoji classroom, we're going to share this out on the NTI site, so you don't have to worry about, writing down the site or anything like that. But when you come to the Bitmoji classroom, it's going to look just like this. You're going to see that it's welcome to Social and Emotional Learning Classroom with Miss Waddell. That's me. Here's my email address right here if you want to write that down. Feel free to reach out with any questions, concerns, celebrations you might want to share. I would love to hear them. I'm going to walk you through this website right here, or the Bitmoji classroom, with some different tools that are in here. So pretty simple to go through. The most important thing on here for me, as far as interacting with you guys, is the wellness check-in. So the wellness check-in, if you guys one time a week come on here, click on the wellness check-in, the balloons right here, and it's going to take you to a form. And that form is simply just talking about, it's just a quick check-in where you just write your name, your grade, and if you feel that you need to talk to somebody. So that check-in can go through here. It can also be linked to your counselors if you needed to talk to your counselors. That option's in there as well. Then you're going to notice over here on the stereo, if you click on the stereo, there's going to be an option for some mindfulness, relaxation, music. I know that can be really helpful when you're working on your schoolwork and it might be kind of loud in the background, or you're having a hard time concentrating. If you kind of play some mindfulness, relaxation music in the background, it just kind of helps you stay focused and just kind of not get so anxious about the assignment that you're working on. I also have here, you're going to notice that there are 3 books here on the bookshelf. The first one is going to be a yoga exercise. The whole purpose for these right here, these 3 books, is they're called brain breaks. And I know that your teachers and a lot of your classrooms incorporate brain breaks throughout the lessons, just as kind of a way to get some oxygen pumping to your brain, makes you more focused and a little bit more energized. So it might be something that you might think is a little bit silly at first, but the more that you guys kind of practice that and kind of do that throughout each day, you're going to notice how more focused you are. You're going to be more focused. You're going to, just be more engaged into the activity that you're working on. So, I mean, get your family involved, have them do some yoga with you, or go into, a quiet place and do it by yourself. Another activity that we have are some breathing exercises. So I know that sometimes we can get overwhelmed with the day-to-day things that we have to do. Maybe an assignment is kind of hard. Maybe you're having just kind of a stressful day. These breathing techniques are going to walk you through different ways to just kind of calm yourself. And it's a good way for you to monitor just kind of how it is that you're breathing. Sometimes we get anxious and we're not really aware of it because we don't really know what to look for. And one of those, key look fors is just the way that you're breathing. So these breathing exercises help you be mindful of that. And it's good practice for us to do, even if we're not feeling anxious or overwhelmed. The breathing exercises are important because when we do get to that point somewhere down the road, when we are anxious and upset, then we will have this tool in our toolbox to kind of help level us back down. The last one on the bookshelf is called Blink Brain Break, and there's some pretty cool different activities in here that a teacher is doing with students in his classroom. And I just think this is just kind of a fun way when you've been staring at the screen for too long to kind of come in here, click on here, and try to see if you can do some of the things that he's asking his students to do. Some of them are pretty tricky. It kind of gets your brain and your muscle coordinations going, and you have to kind of think about it. But it's a pretty neat exercise to do. And there's several of them on there too. The last thing I have on here is a video. If you click on the TV, it's going to play, and that's going to be some strategies on mindfulness. It is geared for middle school, so that's for us. And that's just something that we can watch maybe at the end of the day just to kind of unwind and decompress. Or if you're getting ready to log onto the computer and you just need to kind of just take a moment, click on this video and just kind of get your head in the right headspace so that you're ready to learn. So that was the first thing that I wanted to show you guys. So like I said, this whole entire Bitmoji classroom will be uploaded on the NTI site. It will also be rolled out through your Colt Connections classroom on Google Classroom, so you guys can access there as well. The important takeaway I want you guys to remember is to do the wellness check-in at least once a week. I'll click on this Google Doc so you can see, but it's very simple. All it's asking you is for today's date, to put your first and last name in there, and if you would like for either myself or the counselor to reach out to you. You hit submit and that'll go directly into my inbox and I will reach out to you within 24 hours. Okay, hopefully by the end of that day, unless it's submitted later on in the afternoon, then maybe it might be the next day. But you'll definitely be hearing back from me. So that is that. So if there are any questions you have about the Bitmoji classroom, my email address is right here, natalie.waddell@jefferson.kyschools.us. I'm going to close out of here. I'm going to click on the assignment that you guys are going to be asked to do today by your Colt Connections teacher. Today, you guys are going to be asked to set a growth mindset goal. You're going to have a form that looks similar to this. Some of your teachers might have changed it around a little bit, but it's still going to have the same kind of information. So if I'm looking at the growth mindset goal, the first thing that you guys are going to be asked to do is to come up with a learning goal. How is it that you want to grow? And this can be something, I gave you a sentence starter. I want to improve, and then you think about something that you would like to improve in. Maybe it's organization. Maybe it's, completing assignments on time or completing assignments, period. Maybe it's about participating. You want to participate more in class. You're going to think of what you want your growth goal to be. You're going to put it here. Again, I have a sentence starter right here. I want to improve right here. But you don't have to use that sentence starter. But if you're stuck, you can use that one. Then you're going to come over here to where it says My Reality. And there's some guiding questions there that you're going to see. How good am I at this right now? So if I picked organization, as my growth goal, then I'm going to reflect on how good am I at organization right now. So maybe, maybe I have some folders, maybe I have an agenda that I use, a calendar. And so maybe I'm okay with organization, but I know it's something that I need to do better in. How do I know that? Maybe I have missed a meeting. Maybe I have like an NTI Google Meet. There's a lot on NCI to kind of keep up with, so it's easy to get confused. The schedule's changing every day. It's completely different than what we're used to, and so just keeping track of those things. So how do I know how good I am at something right now? So just kind of taking a minute to reflect back on that. Then you're going to come over here and look at my challenges. What are some reasons that you're not already good at this? So you might be good if it's a goal that you have, then you're kind of struggling at it in some aspect. Okay. So you want to think about what are some reasons that you're not already good at, and I'm going to use organization again because that's just kind of my reference right now. But what are some reasons that I'm not already good with organization? And maybe it is that I don't know the proper tools or any tools other than a calendar or an agenda. And so that's kind of creating a barrier for me and making it hard for me to be organized. That might be a reason. Maybe it's that I'm having a hard time focusing. And so I don't really know like where to start. It can be so overwhelming. I know you guys had the first day yesterday, and it can be just so overwhelming, and you don't know where to start. You have all these online assignments you have to do, and where do you even begin, right? What am I doing that might have been holding me back? So with this question, what is it that you yourself are doing that might be holding you back from being able to meet this goal right now? So I know that, the challenges of NTI and just the pandemic, I know for myself, it might put me in a negative headspace, at times, just because the same routine all the time, that it can just be hard. And so maybe it is that, you just have a negative attitude about things. Maybe it's that you don't have access to the resources that you need, or you think you don't. Just a lack of knowing what's out there and available. Those might be things that are holding you back. Maybe it's past experiences. So maybe you've tried to grow in this goal and you were not successful in doing so. And so now that's in your mind that this is something that you can't get better at. Okay, so sometimes we are our own worst enemy. So it could be that mindset that's holding us back. After you have addressed the reality and your challenges, we're going to come over here and we're going to break it down. We're breaking down what our goal was that we had up at the top. So looking back, thinking about our goal and what you want to improve in, you're going to break it down into 3 different steps. Whenever you set, let's think of your New Year's resolutions. Maybe you have never set one before. Maybe you have. I know that a common one is that people say that they're going to start being healthy. That's a pretty big goal. What does that mean? So if I'm breaking that down into steps, it's going to make it easier for us to achieve that goal. So if I'm thinking about organization, and I'm breaking that down into 3 different steps, the first step that I might have, and these are just examples, but the first step that I might have is that I am going to have some sort of notebook that I'm writing down my assignments and my due dates. That might be my first step. So my first I will get a notebook and designate it to writing down my assignments. Next, I might, if I have a cell phone, most of us have iPads that we can use that we've gotten through Olmsted, but you can go on there and access your calendar and possibly put in important due dates in your calendar, and maybe not putting your reminder for the actual day that it's due, but maybe setting your reminder for that night before so it doesn't sneak up on you. So that might be another step that you have. A third step for organization that you might have is to have a designated space where you're living that you can designate for your schoolwork. That way that I'm not leaving my math notebook in my bedroom, but my science notebook might be in the kitchen, and then my social studies book might be in the living room or outside. So just making sure that I have my materials organized and all together. Then you're going to come down here and you are going to select a date that you want to reach your goal. So it wouldn't be realistic for me to say that I am going to be organized by August 31st. That to me would not be realistic, only because I know that I'm going to have to put some things in place. It's going to take me a while to get into a system. And so I want to have a realistic expectation as to when I'm going to have this completed by. If you scroll down to the bottom, we're almost finished, so hang in there, guys. Look at my support system. Support systems are huge. It doesn't matter if it's a family member, a friend, a neighbor, but support systems are very helpful. So when looking at the mindfulness growth goal, who can I ask for help? So if my goal was organization and I don't really know where to get started on this, I don't know ways to get organized, maybe I've tried it in the past and I couldn't get it, who can I go to for help? That can be a teacher, it can be a counselor, it could be myself, it could be a family member, a neighbor, somebody that you're comfortable with asking for help. The next one you're going to look at is what materials do you have or can you ask for? So maybe you would like some notebooks to kind of keep things organized, or folders. What materials is it that you're going to need in order to be successful towards reaching this goal? Okay, and then thinking again about your support systems. Are those items that you can get from your teacher and pick up at school? Are those items that you can pick up from a family member or friend or neighbor from the store? So just kind of thinking about those things. The next one, how often will you remind yourself of the plan? And this one I think is the most important question. I don't want this to just be something that you do to check off that you've done. That, okay, I've done this Colt Connections lesson for my teacher and now I'm finished. This really should be something that you're being mindful of throughout the day, throughout the school week, that you're reminding yourself of your growth goal that you have set in place. It's important. Maybe you actually write it down and put it on your learning space. Maybe you write it down and it's your background on your iPad or your Chromebook, just something that you can reference it to keep you reminded of what you're working towards. Then you have the middle column here. How will I know when I am almost there? How are you going to know? What that's asking is, how are you going to know that you're making progress towards your goal? Okay, so maybe that could be that you don't have any late assignments, that you've completed all of them. You haven't missed any due dates. Those can be examples of how you will know that you're almost there. Then over here is kind of a check just to see, how motivated you are towards this goal. Is it something, how challenging is this goal for you? You want it to be, somewhat challenging, or it wouldn't need to be a goal, right? If I made a growth goal and it was not challenging at all, then maybe there are other areas that I need to focus on that I can improve in. Can I do it? What's your mindset towards you actually being able to meet this goal? You want to make sure that you're setting goals that you can attain, that you can be successful in. You don't want to just say, I'm going to, make straight A's, which absolutely would be a great growth goal. That would be hard for me, just looking at myself. I would probably break that down a little into more achievable goals. Okay. how much do I want to achieve this goal? This should be somewhat motivating to you, if not very. If it's a goal that how much do I want to achieve this goal? Not at all. Then maybe you should go back and look at your original goal that you had set, and try to think of something that actually motivates you to want to do better in. Then it's going to ask you down here why. So regardless of whether or not you say very, somewhat, or not at all, it wants you to give a little explanation here as to why. Why is it that that you want to achieve this goal, that you very much so want to achieve this goal, or why somewhat, or why not at all? So that's going to be your activity for today for Colt Connections. Forgot about this one little part down here. Who else wants me to achieve this goal and why? Maybe if we know that other people are rooting for us and counting on us, and want to see us be successful, which everybody does, it kind of helps drive us. It's kind of an incentive for us to want to meet that goal so that we can be proud of ourselves and also have others be proud of us as well. So who would want to see you achieve this goal? Maybe your mom has been telling you that you need to be organized, and she really wants to see you be organized with your schoolwork. Or maybe you have a grandma who really wants to see you not have any missing assignments. Okay, or you have a friend who really wants to see you participate, or a teacher who really wants to see you participate and be successful. So kind of knowing who wants us to achieve this goal kind of helps as an incentive to make us want to do well. So that is all from me. Like I said, next week we will be live on Facebook so we can go through our Colt Connection assignments together, digitally together, and just have conversations on anything that's going on. In the meantime, I look forward to seeing your all's responses to your growth goals. I look forward to seeing your all's wellness check-ins through the Bitmoji classrooms, which will be posted in your Colt Connections class. And just please don't hesitate to reach out with any questions or concerns, or if you just want to chat. Okay. So thank you so much.